What is going on YouTube? Today we are revisiting Sly 1 as it recently got a well-deserved remaster.
Nice job so far, Sly. Just jump and hit the circle button. Sly!
The Sly series are some of the best PlayStation 2 games that there was, and we are more than happy to be re-achieving that Platinum Trophy today. We do already have the Platinum Trophies for the entire series from the PS3 collection, however I do love the series so much so I have no problem replaying it again. Sly is a stealthy style platformer where you complete heists against other criminals while being chased down by police. The remaster of the first game has a total of 36 trophies to achieve the Platinum and comes with an estimated time of 10 hours to complete. It is a rather easy game to Platinum as it comes in at a 3 out of 10 for difficulty and only requires a single playthrough due to being able to revisit levels. In the old version it was simply complete every level and get all of the collectibles. In this one however, they have added some extra challenges to be completed during certain levels for trophies. If you enjoyed this video then don't forget to drop a like and comment below what games you want to see. We have some bangers all being worked on at the moment, so subscribe if you want to see more Platinum content and follow our road to 100 Platinum trophies. So with all that covered, let's jump right back into Sly's first adventure as we recover his family book, the Thievius Raccoonus. After reliving the classic introduction, we are then thrown right into the tutorial and get introduced to the gang. We have Bentley, who is basically our guy in the chair, no pun intended for Sly 3. And then we also have Murray, which is our driver and our muscle. First off, we get a nice long lecture from Bentley, which becomes a recurring theme every 5 minutes for the first hour of the game. Then, as soon as we get control of Sly, we realise that they have inverted camera controls and you cannot change it. Immediately after realising this, we then get another Discord call from Bentley.
Do me a favor, shut the fuck up.
We then make our way through the tutorial area and after many long and boring chats with Bentley, we finally make it to this safe. Bentley does have the code at hand and after stealing its contents we then make our way to the rooftops. On our way out we do run into Carmelita, which will probably give you furries an instant semi. She is high up in the police ranks and is essentially trying to arrest Sly and his gang, but they keep getting away. Sly and her have a very flirty relationship as Sly thinks it's all one big joke, but Carmelita isn't playing. After she just starts blasting, we then have to run back to the van where the gang makes their escape. It is here that we are given Sly's backstory and the plot for the rest of the game. In a nutshell, Sly's family are all legendary thieves and they all pass down this book detailing their own techniques, methods and stories called the Thievius Raccoonus. Sly's parents were then targeted by a group of 5 criminals and they proceeded to endgame both Sly and his parents and steal the book. Sly of course survived and then was sent to an orphanage where he met Murray and Bentley. We then fast forward some time later and Sly and the gang are going after each member of the group for a bit of revenge but also to get the book back. We then get thrown into our safe house where we enter the level select screen. In Sly 1 the game has 5 worlds. Each world has 7 levels and a hub world that connects all of the levels together. So we start off by going to world 1 where we're going after the first member of the group, Raleigh the Frog. Before we enter the hub world you have to complete a small level to get there. Immediately after starting the level we then get another lecture from Bentley. After that we then start making our way through the level and head over to our first set of collectibles. Throughout the series you will collect these clue bottles that are randomly scattered around and hidden. When you collect all of them in a certain level you can then open the safe. We get our first trophy here for smashing our 5th clue bottle collectible. As you can tell, we have to collect every one if we want to get the Platinum, and some levels can have up to 40. After being launched off the map here, we were quickly able to complete the first level and also collect all of the bottles to unlock the safe. Once we have done so, we then collect the key at the end of the level and unlock the hub world. While we are in the first part of the hub world, we have access to 3 more levels and after beating enough of them, the last set of levels will open up. Each level tends to be a mix of platforming and stealth or pretty much a random minigame. The first level we went for had us breaking into a massive smelting facility and do some hardcore parkour over these different contraptions. Since the story is told through cutscenes before and after completing worlds, the individual levels don't exactly have much to say about them in terms of story. In the end though, we were able to grab every single clue bottle for this level, which of course opened the safe for a new ability, and we then grabbed the key to complete the level. We're not going to break down every single level due to it primarily being platforming, and will instead focus on my favourites from each world, the boss fights and of course the trophies. Speaking of trophies, we were able to get ourselves a freebie. Upon restarting the level, just to quickly grab the safe, when we exit the level, we do accidentally pop the trophy for beating the level's challenge. However, we won't worry about that for now, and we'll quickly cover the remaining levels of World 1. So we got to jump inside a barrel and sneak past these guards and turrets. Then we got to play a minigame where we had to stop a bunch of crabs from taking these treasure chests. Not really sure why honestly, but after we stopped Sly from getting a good case of crabs, we then move on to the final level before the boss. This level is actually one of my favourites out of World 1, and at the end of this level we net ourselves 2 trophies. The first one was for finding all collectibles in World 1 and opening all of the safes. Then the second trophy was for simply beating every level in World 1 to unlock the boss fight. With all the keys needed, we then progressed to the boss fight by unlocking this cannon and yeeting ourselves at Riley's ship. After a rather nice little chat, Riley then just turns himself into a massive testicle and starts bouncing around the room.
Hold up.
Once he has bounced around enough, he then gets tired and gives us an opportunity to hit him. It does not take us long to defeat Riley, and not only do we get a trophy for doing so, but we were able to steal back a good portion of the book and escape before Carmelita rocks up. She takes the L and decides to arrest Riley, as we were then taken to the next cutscene progressing to World 2. For World 2, we are going after another member of the group who is a roided up bulldog called Mugshot. He takes inspiration from old gangster movies, and I think he is my favourite world out of the whole game, to be fair. Anyway, we start off with a typical entry level that takes us to the hub world. In this level, we got to learn about spire jumping, which unlocks more things that we can parkour on. It did not take long for us to get through this level and collect everything before grabbing the key at the end. What really helped is how much that I have played this game. It just means that collecting everything is a lot easier and I don't struggle as much on the minigames. Speaking of minigames, we do have 2 in this world. The first one is a turret based level where we have to protect Murray as he goes through the town to recover a key. And the second one is a 3-lap race in the group's van. Basically, Murray being a big boy, he got a bit hungry and then decided to go and get some hot dogs, but somehow was forced into a race. I don't really know how or why this happens, but I do remember as a kid I used to get so mad at the races in this game. We were able to smash it out first try however and grab ourselves another key. Now we've got some of my favourite levels as we go to a great set of Sly platforming missions. In the first one that we do, we get to climb around this flooded casino while dodging security lights and lasers. Once we grab the key and complete the level, we were then able to unlock the remaining levels by ghostying this car through the front door of the casino. With the next set of levels available, we then head up to the rooftops in our first one and complete probably my favourite level of the whole game. For this, we basically have to climb around these neon signs and up the building until we get to a wrecking ball that we can use to get to the key. I don't know why, I just really enjoyed this level. The next mission is another great one as we run into Carmelita, and after a little bit of flirting,
I'd suggest you surrender before I paralyze you with my good friend, the shock pistol.
we then get chased across the rooftops while she shoots at us. Honestly, no clue how she got a badge with this aim. During the chase, we managed to net ourselves 2 more trophies. The first one was for unlocking the safe in this level, which unlocks a particular ability where you no longer take damage for falling into water. Then, once we grab the key, we get our second trophy, which was for completing the level's challenge of reaching the end without getting hit or falling. Now we can move into the final level that we haven't done to unlock the boss fight for Mugshot. This is yet another great level of parkour and platforming in a more side-scrolling fashion. The good news is at the end of this level is yet another 2 trophies. One for getting all of the collectibles and safes in World 2, and then another for completing all of the levels in World 2 as well. With World 2 basically now complete, we are now heading up to take on Mugshot. This boss fight is a 3-phase fight where he basically chases you around the room trying to shoot you. We then need to hit these crystals or mirrors that are scattered around, and once we hit them all, we somehow burn him and that damages him enough to take us to the next stage. The most annoying part of this fight is the fact that there are no checkpoints. So after a couple of resets, we were finally able to make it to the final phase where we were able to flip the last mirror and cook Mugshot medium rare. With the fight over, we of course net ourselves the next story-based trophy as well, alongside watching Carmelita arrest Mugshot after yet another swift escape. After that cutscene, we then get introduced to our next target of the group called Ruby. She is a crocodile that has mystical abilities and dabbles in voodoo. Ruby basically has fled to the swamps after being outcasted, probably for being a little bit too weird. With introductions out the way, we are then yeeted into the first level of World 3. This world is my least favourite out of the game, not because it's bad by any means, I just think the other worlds are better and had better levels. Anyway, we are quickly able to get through the level and also collect everything on the way through. After unlocking the hub world, we made a start on the first few levels available to us. The first being some parkour around this part of the swamp to retrieve a key. The second one was a mini game where we had to collect these piranhas and use them to light braziers under a certain time. With these 3 keys, we were then able to release this weird creature to open up the remaining levels. Where in the next level, we were able to get a trophy for unlocking the final safe in World 3. That now leaves minigame levels, which are just as random as ever, honestly. For one of the levels, we were on a Segway thing that has a turret, and it was basically a twin stick shooter style level, blasting ghosts. The next one is more random, as we had to run around this pen and hit chickens while dodging certain chickens that charge at you holding bombs. Yes, I'm a bit confused reading that back, to be fair, but once we were able to beat that level, we then get a trophy for completing all of the levels in World 3. Now we unlock another device that yet again yeets us into the boss's lair. Ruby doesn't really care that we're here and instead challenges us to play Guitar Hero. Honestly, this boss fight is just awful. I don't really know what it is with the timing, but it's just off and it has multiple long stages with no checkpoints. We got reset here many times, mainly due to my lack of brain cells, honestly. After embarrassing myself enough times, we were finally able to beat her, which meant we not only get a trophy, but we were also able to steal back more of the book. Just like the other worlds, we dip out pretty quickly and leave Ruby to be bait for Carmelita.
Yeah, boy.
Sly and the gang now decide to go after the Panda King, who is the 4th member of the group. He has decided to go and hide out in the snowy mountains and shoot fireworks at villages. Yes, that is literally what he has decided to do with his time. Just like the other worlds, we of course need to make our way through the first level to unlock the hub world. This world is actually pretty fun as a whole, but going back to the first level, it doesn't take us long to do some parkour and sneak our way through the mountains and collect everything that we need on the way. With some of the levels now unlocked, the first one that we went to involved sneaking around this temple and taking out some guards. One good thing though is that we were able to get a trophy for opening this level's safe, which unlocks the ability where we don't take fall damage. The next level on the list is my favourite one in this world, as you basically scale a tower covered in lasers. Then you jump down the middle of it to grab the key and complete the level. It's very simple, but it works really well. We then had to do another turret based level where we were protecting Murray as he runs through another village to steal a key for us. With all the keys we got so far, we were then able to unlock the rest of the hub world by destroying this building with some fireworks. The first of the newly unlocked levels that we went for was another race. Murray yet again got caught lacking while looking for food and now has to participate in another race. This one is a little bit harder than the other one, but we still managed to smash it out on our first go. We then made our way over to another minigame level where we were back on the heavily armed mobility scooter, causing more carnage. Now we have one more level to complete, and it is a great chase level with our old police buddy Carmelita.
Freeze, raccoon!
After a bit more flirting, we then get chased across some of these ruins, and she still has appalling aim. The weird thing about this level though is that we cannot open the safe until we have beaten the game, but we have officially collected everything needed for the 100%. At the end of this level, we only get one trophy for completing all of the levels in World 4. With all of the keys acquired, we then head to the Panda King by shooting fireworks at his palace with ourselves attached.
Okay, Sly, you will be blown to bits. But the experience will no doubt be spectacular.
We of course got some top tier dialogue before the fight starts. This fight overall is extremely easy once you know what to expect. You can just charge him and end the fight in around 30 seconds. It is still a very fun boss fight though, despite absolutely rocking his shit. Once we do beat him up, we not only get his parts of the Thievius Raccoonus, but also get a trophy for our troubles. Just like in the other world, we leave the Panda King as bait while Sly and the gang make a quick escape. Now we only have one more target left for the group, and his name is Clockwork. He is basically a massive metal owl and is kind of the Cooper clan's arch nemesis throughout the generations. His world is obviously the final one, and it is a bit of a weird one. Basically, we have a handful of mini games just thrown at us back to back, referencing all of the things that we have done on our journey so far. In the first section, we find out that Bentley has installed a minigun onto the van and we have to shoot our way through this volcano. All I'm going to say is that World 5 is genuinely quite difficult, and I'm pretty sure will give most people trouble, even returning players. I won't rant about how much I struggled, as I think everyone that plays through this world just knows about it, to be fair. After the turret section, we then have to race these fire slugs around this small arena and smash these TVs that fall out of the sky. Yep, rereading that one was also very weird as well. I can just imagine trying to explain these ideas for the mini games in the board meeting. Next up is a sneaky section as Sly, as we do some basic parkour to obtain a barrel and sneak through a bunch of traps. However, myself and my small brain count kept getting impatient and dying over and over again here. I'm not proud of it, but once we do beat the level, we find out that Carmelita has somehow been kidnapped, and when we try to break her free, we get gassed. Yeah, we got baited pretty good here. This basically forces Bentley to intervene, and he then hacks the systems to shut it all down. His hacking levels are basically twin stick shooter sections, and it isn't too bad to be fair, mainly because it's the only one in the game. Once Bentley saves both Sly and Carmelita, we then decide to team up with Carmelita for a bit to take down Clockwork in return for a 10-second head start after it's all done. We of course had a lot more flirting going on, but our next level was basically another turret style level where we protect Sly as he climbs the tower to recover his cane. The next mission, we have to climb this tower using all of the parkour moves that we have learnt so far while the lava in the volcano slowly rises. So long as you don't really make any mistakes, this bit's actually quite good fun and shouldn't be too much trouble. Once we get to the top of this tower, we then retrieve a jetpack, and we not only go after Clockwork, but we also get a trophy for interrupting Clockwork's plans. Now it is time for the final fight of the game as we take on Clockwork. In this boss fight you have two stages. The first stage is with the jetpack, and you have to dodge these attacks while going through hoops. Every so often, Carmelita will weaken part of Clockwork and then you can damage him. Once you hurt him enough, he then crashes into the lava, and we of course go after him for some reason. The annoying part here is the fact that there are no checkpoints. So you go back to square one if you die, which happens quite a lot. But eventually we manage to parkour around his remains and then also get close enough to his face and absolutely batter him. After he breaks apart into the lava, we then get a nice double trophy pop for completing the game. With Clockwork down, we get our final cutscene of the game where we watch Clockwork melt into the lava and also get to see what Sly does with his 10-second head start on Carmelita.
1.
That's right, we sneak a kiss and handcuff her to a railing in the middle of a rising volcano, because Sly is the true Riz Master. After that hilarious sleight of hand, the credits start to roll, and now comes the cleanup. The first thing we do was by complete accident as we enter the chase level where we couldn't get to the safe. After we hit these two fireworks here right at the beginning, we get a trophy for launching 2 pink fireworks. We then race to the end of the level to unlock a final safe and get the Safecracker trophy. The next trophy we go for was still in the Panda King's world, but on a different level. We had to go and knock all of the monkeys off their podiums, and after struggling for a couple of minutes, we do manage to ruin the training session for the trophy. After that, we went for quite a challenging trophy which did take a few tries. We had to replay the tower level, which at least I enjoyed. However, we had to beat the entire level while alerting every single guard and light system without dying. This basically required us to alert everything right at the last second before killing them, just because we get one banged and will be sent back to the start. After a while, we do manage to beat the level for the Seen and Wanted trophy. Next up was the miscellaneous trophies in World 3. We had another challenging one where we had to beat this level without killing a single enemy. I genuinely really struggle with this, in particular at this section here. What was quite funny though was in a fit of rage I left the level, and upon exiting the level I somehow popped the trophy. This was by accident and by technical rage quit. I didn't intend to use the glitch. Next up, we had to complete another level, but the challenge this time was not to destroy a single candle. It wasn't too bad honestly, and we quickly popped the trophy, Sly be nimble, Sly be quick. The next challenge trophy was of course on a different level, and we had to clear all of the guards at this section without alerting a single one. This did take a couple of attempts, but we do get the trophy in the end. Now we're going to go for the final miscellaneous trophy in World 3. So first off, we get one shot right after loading into the level, but we do afterwards make our way over to this part here. We need to hit 5 ghosts with one swing to get the trophy, and after a couple of failed attempts we do manage to pop it. It is worth mentioning that you can't use any abilities and it is just the basic attack. Now it is time to take Sly and the gang back to World 2, our favourite one, for the trophies that we missed. The first one that we went for was for clearing these 4 dogs at the start of the level without alerting any of them. It did take us a hot minute to realise that the trip mines were our best friends for this, and we then quickly get the sleight of hand trophy. After that, we went back into the side-scrolling style level and simply had to break 7 window panes. Simple enough, and once done, we popped the trophy. The next trophy was actually on my favourite level of the entire game, and we had to go and drop all of the suspending cars hanging off the sides of the building. There were not that many, but somehow we managed to miss one, and after flying back through the level we dropped the final car for the trophy. With World 2 now complete, we only had the challenges left in World 1. The first trophy that we went for was actually a very cool one, as after a little bit of research we realised that this is actually a speedrunning strategy that is used as a skip on this level. It did take a fair few attempts, I will be honest, but you can basically jump over the top here and skip the whole level. Once we do finally make the jump without dying, we then manage to pop the trophy, and the whole concept of this is my favourite trophy idea for remastering classic games. We were also able to net ourselves another trophy right after on the same level. While we've been replaying levels, we have been scanning enemies with our binoculars, and after scanning our 10th enemy, we pop another trophy. The next trophy that we went for was on the level where you become a barrel. You basically had to make it all the way to the end without using the barrel, and I genuinely couldn't figure this one out, so I hate to say it, I exited the level to pop the trophy. I was stuck here for a little while, and to be honest with you, I couldn't figure out how to do it without using cheesy strats anyway. The final miscellaneous trophy on World 1 was to go back to the very first proper level and smash up a bunch of the signs. After doing so, we nut ourselves that trophy. Now, the only miscellaneous trophy left to achieve was to get a double kill with the trip mine ability. The best spot was actually on World 2, back where these dogs were, as when the patrol goes down this bit, they are right next to each other. So it really didn't take long to pop that final miscellaneous trophy. There is now only one more trophy left, and that is to achieve 10 speedrun times. While I let some of the speedruns play out in the background, let's quickly review the game. I'm going to be biased, as the Sly series is probably my favourite game growing up. I played all 3 of them so many times, and I actually didn't mind the 4th one either. However, I would always recommend that anyone plays through the first 2 games. They are just great, solid games that still hold up today and have such a nostalgia about them for older style games. The first one really isn't that long by any means, and it was great re-achieving the Platinum Trophy with the added challenges. Honestly, just play the game, it's amazing, just do it. Anyway, now I think it's time to show you that Platinum Trophy. After our 10th and final speedrun, we managed to net ourselves the Speediest Thieviest Trophy. Then of course, right after, that juicy Platinum Trophy, and what a blast that was. If you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like, as it really does help. We are on the road to 100 Platinum Trophies, so if you want to see more Platinum content, please do subscribe. And of course, comment below what games you want to see. I have some bangers lined up, so stay tuned.
我很喜欢冰淇淋。